this thing to behave. I don't break it. I break it? Oh well, I already bought it. Come on, there. Just double try to make sure there's nothing running in the background. Hello, Ray. That'll work. Perfecto mongo. How am I? Well, the best planet I am existing. It's not bad. It's not like bad or good. It's just like, oh, I'm here. I exist. Keeping it nice and simple. Where is my bloody thing? Oh, wait. No, that wasn't it. Okay. We're going to go like this. I'm going to get this out of my life. Yeah. And no, put it back to the live so that way. There we go. I hate it when it does that. It's like, oh, you want the top chat? No, I want the bottom chat. Give me the live chat. Ugh. Honey bear, put it back. Now leave it alone. Good. So, for this live stream, I decided, whatever flies and works. I still haven't gotten my deck yet. The computer's like, no chat for you. Well, it's okay, computer. Well, it's funny you say that, computer, because here, don't make me ask again. Because I got the shiny stick ready. Don't make me ask again. Yeah, I got Shunny's beating stick. Oh, there it is. And I'm still waiting for my test print of my deck to come in the mail. Still. And it's weird. Well, I mean, if that didn't scare it, well, I mean, I'll just pull the plug on it. But the thing that's weird about, like, because a few days ago, I checked just to see like how the printing process was going for my Seduction of Shadows Oracle for the test print. It had a tracking number and it had everything to click on just to see where it was at. But now it's like back to processing. I'm like, okay, what are you doing? Please don't do that. Don't get me all like, overly anxious and thinking crap. Don't tell me that they spilled water on it or something during shipment. Now I got to do it again. Please don't. Because once the test print is actually like how I want it to be, if it's like how it should be, then the deck is going to be live for the public. And I've actually also decided, well, to make it a little bit more cheaper for people, because getting one deck printed and then also having like a guide, like a little instructional small guidebook and a big fancy woozy woo kind of carrying box or something even just like this, it would probably make the deck about about $40 to $50. And I'm thinking, no, that's too impractical. So I figured, well, if somebody actually wants to get like give me that, give it. If somebody actually wanted to have like the tuck box, which would be something like this, then it's an option that can be chosen, because if they just want to get the deck, well, that'll work just fine, because there is that option of just like, okay, just the deck, nothing fancy, woozy wooey, just the deck, because that actually makes it a lot cheaper for people and makes it more affordable. Because if I was actually able to get it the way that I wanted to, hello, Kayla. Yeah, if I was actually going to be getting it the way that I wanted it to be, having it be silver edging, holographic front, and, well, not the back. Actually, no, not holographic. Silver front, silver edging, and a container about this big, and a pretty good size guidebook, which would be, well, I kind of don't like guidebooks that are like this because they're so little, and I most definitely don't like guidebooks that are like this. because it would be like having a guidebook like this, like about this big. Yeah, okay, man, not too bad. I'd much rather have that than something like this. Oh, the little gray white booklet that's like vague, completely useless. And actually, that's what I do with every little white booklet that I get with every deck. Just take it and fling it, because when you're wanting to actually really connect and actually learn and understand what a specific deck is saying, because not all decks say the same thing, even though they have the same cards sometimes. If you really want to know what a deck is saying, you have to go through card by card and actually look at the image and then see how it speaks to you per card and depiction. Because not every, you know, Queen of Swords is, not every Queen of Swords is doing this, and not every Queen of Swords is also, doing this. Some Queen of Swords are just playing, a fiddle me dicks on her blade. You never know until you look at the artwork. And then, there are some Queens of like swords that are just like, I'm going to just cut my finger and I'm going to do a blood ritual. So don't mess with me. Yes, Queen. Yeah. Which is the Toro Vampires one. But yeah, not all decks speak the same. Another good example of a card that, speaks differently depending on the deck is the He Who Font. That's probably the one that's the most uniquely depicted. One deck has him as like a little literal Pope figure going, "Notice me, I'm a guru. You better listen or you're going to hell." There's that kind. There's also the one that's from Terrell Apocalypse, which actually has a figure that starts off as like a guru as a child, then it becomes a young adolescent, and then a wise elder. That's another Hierophant depiction. There's another one from the what's it called? Traditional Celtic tarot. It actually has the Hierophant being an elder figure guiding a child in the trees to actually like teach him something about. I guess I'm not really entirely sure, but it actually has an elder figure teaching like a younger figure. Then there's another one that's and I'm just cycling through all the decks in my head. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I just had it and I lost it. Oh, the I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's based off of Greek mythology, and the Hierophant from that deck is actually Chiron, and he's doing this. Like, wow, Chiron, rock on, huh? Yeah. Actually, I'll go get it. Okay, let's see. Oh, I like the first card I see is like, oh, it's the he who's hung most, but he's not even hung. He's just upside down stuck. Oh, Persephone. Oh, there's Pan, the devil. Oh, God forbid. It's Pan. Oh no, what's he gonna do? Make you be living life and living it hard? Oh no, the horror. Oh my gosh, the horror of enjoying the world and the feelings and all of that. Oh my gosh, I can't handle it. Wimp. It's not sacred. And what's your point? Are they enjoying it? Yes. Good. Then leave it alone. Where in the bloody heck? Chiron, where are you? You intelligent centaur, which is kind of ironic. There's the Fate sisters. The Arenary sisters. Athena holding a sword that's bigger than her for some reason. There's Poseidon throwing a hissy fit and knocking down somebody's tower. There's Thanatos trying to be bribed by humans. Pandora opening the box and realizing, crap, what have we done? Yeah, let me look again. Okay, well, my little centaur, where are you, little? Oh, come on. Oh, good job, Chiron. You threw off my groove. I'm sorry, he's thrown off the Emperor's groove. Shoot him! Mistake. Great, I got that stupid song stuck in my head. If I don't find him in the next 3 seconds, I'm going to say, forget it. Okay, well, looks like my little centaur is Mia being had. But anyway. Yeah, comparing, the great teacher Chiron to, say, oh boy, now let me see if I can find this Notice Me Guru. I am a guru, listen to me. Or what, old man? You're gonna go to hell. Or, okay. Oh no, the horror. Yeah, like that's, what do you think's gonna happen when you already put somebody who's already flaming in a place that supposedly is already on fire? You have flaming, and then you have extra flaming. Too much flaming. Come on, hon. Fire and fire. Dimwits, yeah. Better than, this one. And to be completely honest, I really, 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 really can't see that this being a card of Venus. I can't see it. Or being connected to Taurus. I can't see it. Because I think of Venus and Taurus, and I think, how's this physical enjoyment? How's this enjoying the senses? How's that having, security and, security, income, luxury, wealth, pleasure? I don't see it. Even though technically, yes, Venus is a guru, but Shukra doesn't intimidate you or, have to bribe you in order to, believe in what he's teaching. Meanwhile, this dopey Pope, listen to me, or what? Or what, old man? Hey, you're gonna wish you didn't say that. Or what are you gonna do, old man? Careful, you might, throw out your hip trying to chase after me. Trying to shove your little stick with a guy who's hung on a hung one. I'm dead serious. If you didn't know, the the cross is actually also when you flip it upside down, where it's actually like the T at the bottom and then the little bit down below and then the straight up. That's actually a Celtic symbol for a man pointing at something. So when you have, say, someone like Ishwa being nailed to one of them, I guess you could say, well, looks like he went out being hung on a hung one. Hey, don't look at me. That's just what it is. Hey, I didn't write this stuff. Oopsie doopsie. I guess you could say he who's hung most on the hung one, and that's how he went out. Wow. That just sounds so horrible, but I mean, oh, hey, I guess he took it well. Oh, God, I gotta stop. That's just so vulgar. Anyway, moving on. I really can't wait for my deck to hurry up and get the mail, but Oh no, I've been on a TikTok just seeing how it is. Good God, why so many so many headaches on TikTok that I've had happen. Like, why are you telling me that Lilith is closed? No, you're stupid. And who do you think you are saying who Lilith can and Because I mean, when I hear that, I think Lilith's closed. Oh, who makes you say that? And who do you think you are saying that? Trying to speak for her, saying that nobody can go towards her or even go anywhere near her. Who are you to say that, kid? Like Cupcake. The only thing that is closed is your stupidity inflicting me. It is funny. Yes, it is very funny. Yes, Kayla, it is hysterical. Because I've actually had somebody say, well, Lilith's closed, right? And I just responded with, like, well, yeah, my practice is closed, thank you very much. So piss it. Or even, oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Oh, you can't work with cinnamon. And I said, why can't I work with cinnamon? Because it's closed. A plant is closed. Really? Why? Why is cinnamon closed? And they couldn't even figure it out. Yep. And then I said, well, guess what? Did you happen to know that cinnamon also has a Siamese twin plant that has almost identical energy, but is a little bit more sweeter? Cassia. Almost the near identical same thing. Whiff it. Oh no, I can't use cinnamon. Good thing I got Cassia instead. Does almost the exact same thing, so oops. Please try again. Never. Or then there's hell, and hell, it's the bad choice, the one you don't like. Cupcake. No, you can't choose between Helheim and Valhalla. You don't choose. Valhalla is like spin the wheel to see if you get lucky. Helheim is the one that everybody else goes to. And just because it's run by Loki's daughter, also Hel, doesn't mean, it's a bad place to be. And not where you want to go. Because the thing is, Loki has his place in the mythology. Because he's actually very vital to it. He's there for a reason. And saying that he's bad because, stereotypically he leads the armies of destruction. Well, he does that because he has to. And he understands that he needs to do that. Besides, for a fun fact too, let me take the spectacles off. Of all the Norse gods, did you happen to know that Loki is the one that is the best one to teach the moral viewpoint to all the other gods? Like teaching them how to appreciate, how to cherish, and how to actually be more mindful of what they're doing. Like, look what happened with Balder. They were literally throwing axes, arrows, spears, hunks of wood, like literally everything you could think of, nonstop, because they couldn't hurt him. Then Loki actually had, I can't remember his name, had a blind, I can't remember which divine it was, but essentially he asked the blind one, saying, now, why aren't you enjoying, beating the heck out of Balder or throwing something? Well, I just can't see. Tell you what, how about this? I'll guide your shot. You will? Yeah, come on, let's go. Okay, a little quiet. Okay. Okay, now pull the arrow back. Okay, now hold it right there. That's where Loki got some mistletoe and just, laced the arrow with it. And so that way everybody knows, mistletoe was the only plant that was given the order to never harm and to swear to not harm Balder. But oopsie doopsie, Balder's mother didn't tell Mistletoe because Mistletoe was supposedly too young to take the oath. So Mistletoe, and he kicked the bucket. And everyone was just thinking, oh, Balder's dead. Crap. So, which led to him being now into Helheim because he didn't die in battle or war, so hell got him. So then his mother sent, I can't remember who, down to try and negotiate to get Balder back, and she said, and Hel said, okay, listen, if you can get everything that lives, everything, even me, to cry for this thing, you can have him back. That's it. Good luck. So, almost everything except one. No. Symbolically, no. Because Ragnarok is the things with end of the world stories, they're all symbolic. Because if you really want to be technical, whenever the self goes to sleep, like right when they drift off, that's essentially the end of the day, end of days, quotes. And then when they wake up, that's essentially the new beginning, the new creation, the new start. To kind of make it as simple as I can put it. But since everybody except one frost giant, I can't remember her name, but some people say, well, that was Loki in disguise. But either way, this frost giant was like, why am I going to cry for him? I mean, you guys didn't appreciate him, so I'm not going to cry for him. So, unfortunately, Hel just told him, sorry, Tootsies, this one's mine. Now get out. Yep, so then that's how Balder got stuck. And the way that Hel is, she's completely like cutthroat about like, if it's dead, it's dead. Oh, you think you just have it get up and walk again? No, don't don't defy nature. Don't be stupid. And that's also why she hates necromancy, because it goes against nature. And there are. Okay, oh yeah. Oh, I think yeah. That's a bit way. Oh, well, who cares? Yep, that's a little bit too big. I might have to trim a little bit more. But release. Let. Okay. Maybe if I play Tetris just right, I can get it to fit. Yeah, that's a little bit too big, but oh well. I'll just play Snippy Snip very carefully. Let go of it. Oh, another facepalm moment. You know, Loki didn't marry a frost giant. Loki's wife is actually going back and forth like, let's get this poison off him. Going back, grabbing some more. Because she's keeping him alive, and that's not a frost giant. And fun fact also, here's another thought to think. You know Odin's pony, his steed with the many legs? How come that one didn't get thrown into somewhere? And being, like, oh, it's a child of Loki, we must get it away. It's a sibling of Hel, Yodamunder, and Fenrir. We must get them far away from each other. We must not have them getting very close. So then why are you riding their cousin, Odin? Oops. But even then, too, another fun fact. When it comes to actually Ragnarok, Hel wants nothing. If she could choose, she would want nothing to do with it. Like, absolutely nothing to do with it. And the only reason why she chose her father's side to align with, because that's just her dad. If she could choose, she'd be saying, look, you two, if you want to beat the living shit out of each other, have at it. Leave me alone and let me take care of my dead in peace. And go. And don't get me involved in this crap. But she can't, because she has to pick a side. Unfortunately. And another thing that people also don't know, when it comes to authority over the dead, Hel has the most authority over all the dead, even more than Odin himself. Oh, because Odin actually gave her that authority himself. So she pretty much, if she wanted to, she can tell any Valkyrie, "Hey, fairy, you see that thing in your that dead warrior in your hands? Yeah, drop it." But she doesn't do it because she doesn't have time to do that. She has more important things to do, like take care of her people, which are the passed on. And she even vowed to do it, and she upholds it. I think just a little sticky thing on that candle glass made that thing just get all warped a little bit. Meh, meh with it. Oh, um, um. Oh, here's another one. Um, I've heard a lot of dumb things in my life, but when I hear somebody say, "We have divorced Hades and Persephone," milkshake. You divorced Hades and Persephone. Really? So then answer me this question. Who in the heck do you think you are thinking you can divorce divine beings? Who gave you that right? And I don't think they consented to that. Whiff it. And don't get me started about the twithead who's thinking like, oh, I challenge all the witches on TikTok to put a hex or a curse on me. You know, uh, if you're going to be taunting people that practice the occult, best don't do it because you're inviting a lot of whoopsies to come about. And, well, I mean, to be completely transparent about it, he's not even showing all the old lordies that are happening. Because, well, and also when you actually go to a location where a certain belief system is practiced, like Haiti, and you begin mocking their religious practice, no, that's not cute. That's kind of vile and unacceptable. And if something, like a tragic slip happens to you, well, oopsie doopsie. Don't look at us. Who is the idiot? And there's also people that are being like extreme Bible crazy, and they're saying things like, "Well, I I commanded thee to like doing exorcisms," and it's just like cupcake. If you're going to be doing exorcisms, do you have your BS degree, your biblical studies degree to do that? You don't? Piss it and stick it. Nope, you need to have a degree to do that. Don't look at me. I don't write the rules. If you're going to be going at it through their perspective, yeah, it's literally called a BS degree. I'm not even kidding. Oh, my phone kicked the bucket. Oh well. Do you happen to have a BS degree? Because if you don't you be throwing, the word around and thinking you're hot shit. With it. Mm-mm. Oh, no. Literally, that's what it's called. A BS degree. A biblical studies degree. It's an undergraduate. A BS degree. I'm not even kidding you. Look it up. Do you happen to have your degree in BS? You don't? Oh, oopsie doopsie. You kind of need that in order for you, to be doing your he who fun ways. Get your BS degree. Oh, yay, he got his degree in BS degree. What an achievement. Achievement unlocked. Obtain the biggest BS degree possible. And now he can go out to the world to be the biggest he who font that ever he who fonted. And even also, another thought, If you're going to be having a degree in something like that, don't you kind of think you would know what your your text is saying about certain things, and instead of going by what it says, you go about it in the ways of just like, well, we're going to command gays to death. Yeah, yes, that's well, yeah, but it's the biblical studies degree, yeah, BS degree, bachelor's of science, yeah, but that one's not BS. That one's a legitimate, real. Um, Here, I'll show you. Okay, phone apparatus. Do me a favor and stop being dim-witted. I don't care about battery. You're always saying you're low. Okie dokie, we're gonna go like this, then like this. Do 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 do. Here we go. Right about there. Okay, we have a Bachelor of Biblical Studies. The Bachelor of Biblical Studies, BS, is an undergraduate academic degree offering a comprehensive curriculum in the different aspects of the Bible, including the Old, New, and the Gospels. The literal BS degree. BS in Biblical Studies degree. BS degree. And I guess they didn't think about that acronym. Oopsie doop. What the? No, phone. I didn't tell you to do that. Stop it. Get off it. Quit it. There we go. Okay, turn that on. Come on. Oh, that didn't work as planned. Just trying to get that thing to connect, and it's not going to connect well. But no seriousness, I can't make that up. Like, so tell me, pastors, how many of you have a BS degree? All of you? Wow, is that really something to be proud of, having a degree in BS? Eh. I mean, to each their own, but come on now. But hey, but I will say this though, you can actually also get a doctorate in Vedic astrology. Yep, you can get a doctorate in that. Yeah, in India, because it's recognized there. Yeah, yeah, you can actually hold a title of doctor in Vedic astrology, which is very, 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 and by very I mean we're talking like more or less a lot of study and just it'll take a while. And I mean, I'll be completely, you know, humble and say like I am nowhere even close to even being anywhere near like having a doctrine or knowing of a doctrine for Vedic astrology. No, not even close. Like miles away from it. And before, in just in case somebody wants to ask the question, well, is it a science? It is. It's not a pseudoscience. But then again, a pseudoscience is actually by the standards of here, the states. Not over there, completely different. Because Vedic astrology has been practiced and has been still going, thank goodness, longer than well anybody that's walking this earth. Yeah, so if they know what they were talking about and they knew what they were saying, I think you know, I think it's I think it's science. There was another thing on TikTok that said it. Oh, here's another one. Oh boy, I just want to just go like that so hard right now before I even say it. Well, those symbols, those Norse rune symbols, they have a different connotation in today's world. Honey, I dare you. Say that to my face saying that I cannot wear Hogaloss on me. I dare you. Tell me I can't wear it. See what happens. Oh no, don't worry. I'm not going to be table flipping. Instead, what I'm going to do is take, I'm going to take a Sharpie and just go, let's do this. So, I can't have Hogaloss. I can't bear it, huh? So there. Is it racist? No, no, no. No, no, no. You're just stupid. Have Hogaloss to the head. Telling me I can't have my, make room. Can't have it on or you do anything with it? Like cupcake. No. Don't, no. Don't be stupid. Don't embarrass yourself. Come on now. Don't be, the reason why your parents should have been like, you know what? We were right. Maybe we should have named her mistake. Yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised I haven't snapped a few people on there because of the sheer amount of stupidity. Or here's another one. Well, yes. And actually, the tropical or the Western tropical, it actually was intended to be used to predict the weather and also to track the mating season of animals. And it was actually used in like the Vedic and the sidereal astrology. So yeah, essentially, Vedic astrology was like, oh yeah, that's tropical. Oh yeah, predicts the weather potentially and the animal's mating cycle, and the mood. If you catch my drift, and some ones and individual's let's just say their mating cycle, if you know what I mean, and their what is that called? Nature. Their nature, like somebody's nature. That's what it was intended for, and it was used for. But then again, also they only used up to Saturn too, and of course Rahu and K2. But now Western now incorporates like literally anything and everything that's out there. Well, it's incorporated everything from an asteroid to uh, another mathematical point called White Moon Senna. There is Mayan astrology, but the Mayan calendar, I mean, to be completely honest, I'm kind of a little bit just like with it because I'm just like, well, one person was like, well, 2012, that's the end of the world because that's the last, date in the year. Oh, look, we found some more. Knew it. You ain't slick. Because the whole time when people were thinking 2012 is going to happen, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I'm thinking maybe, they just haven't found the other ones yet. Just a thought. Oh, no, no. They looked everywhere and they couldn't find another one. Okay, if you say so. Right before, the occurrence of the 2012 prophecy was about to happen. Oh, look, we found more, so it's all good. Knew it. You ain't slick. Oh, I just keep remembering all the face palms. Someone's saying the idea of, well, I really advocate people to work with both the the demonic presence and the darker entities, and also working with also on the other side with the saints and the angelic presence. No, please don't do that. Why? Are you gatekeeping? No. I'm trying to, make sure you keep your head, on your neck. No, you're gatekeeping. Cupcake. What happens when you take the extremes of both polarities? When you take the extremes of both polarities, you bring them together. Oops. And that does include having, them in your space. And by space meaning this. Essentially where you're most of the time at home, or your sacred space. Because if you have them in pretty close in the same vicinity, it's gonna be like, oh, oops. You're bringing two bitter enemies together. Now, why do you think that's a good idea? Well, because you have to have balance and know your enemy. Balance, huh? You do know the dark can also heal, right? As much as it causes harm, it can also heal. And supposedly, too, as much as the light can heal, it can also harm. You don't need the other to be balanced, because both sides have the benefit and then also the destructive aspect, like everything else. With it. Besides, too, the saints, well, the ones that were people, they're, ancestors. So by technicality, I mean, if you really want to be technical, at least from my perspective, well, hell can be like, sit. She has authority of the dead, so, oh, you're a saint? Sit. Don't look at me. And even then, I'm kind of even wondering what would happen if, like, someone throws a big hissy fit at me saying, oh, I'm going to hex you. Nope, you can keep it. Yep. And also having the understanding that, okay, so because I'm having the focus point of having this outcome to come about, this outcome is what's going to happen. No, it's going to happen. And no other way possible. That's not a request. That's what's going to happen. Nope, that's it. It's like, nope, that's what's going to happen. I didn't stutter. That's what's going to happen. Having that strong, kind of a bit defiant and a bit like not taking anything else, like, that's it. That's the only answer I'm taking. Nope, that's not an option. That's what it's going to be. This outcome is how it's going to happen. If that makes sense. Like if something was like, well, what happens if it fails? That's not an option. It's going to work. Well, what if it has this happen? That's not an option. Cupcake, do you listen? It's going to happen like how I said it's going to happen. No fans, butts, or tushies. Now stick it. Now, you can have that, like, charge it, yes, but when you have the logical mind being forced to comply, the emotions are like, is pretty much the fuel to it. But you can also have an outcome or a working play out as planned and wanted without having the emotions, because the biggest thing that is the biggest cripple is the logical mind thinking, so how is this going to make it work? Explain it. I don't have to explain it because I said it's going to happen. But explain it. I don't have to. Just go deal with it. Nope. Don't talk back. But how can you stick it? Yeah. Literally bamboozling your own thought. Well, no, because the thing is, when you have your emotions involved, like, well, I mean, I'll even be completely transparent with this one. When I did a working sometime, like, here, I'm trying to remember where. Actually, I have a picture of, the kind of like the post working. I'll show you what it looks like. And it was actually a working to actually help my significant other kind of combat the psychosis and the other disorder challenges that he was facing. And ever since I did that, I mean, he improved tremendously. Still has them from time to time, but they're nowhere as bad as they used to be. Just gotta find where the bloody heck it is. Hold on. Scrolling. Oh, I miss having my, kerosene oil lamp spell thing. I miss those. I love doing those. Up, found it. Let's see if I can get this thing to be compliant for once. Okay, we're gonna go grab that. We're gonna roll this down this way. Get out of my life. Scoochie Tushy, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Flip. Okay, now the fun part, to figure out how to get this thing so that way it's visible. Let's see. Oh great, I gotta open this thing. Great. There we go. Let me do this, turn that down, get this out of the way. Okay, so that was like after the working was done. Yeah, and that was like the setup. But that working, essentially, literally, the only way that I could describe it is that pretty much I just let myself go and just went with emotions and just let it flow. Because emotions too is like the water element of spirit. When you incorporate the element that's actually really what spell working and witchcraft is all about, you're using it in its own element, if that makes sense. So it's like you're taking water and water. You get extra wet, metaphorically speaking. So it's pretty much not a reason to say it's bad. But to each person their own. Some people like to go out of the logical way, like I do. But then again, everybody's practice is unique, except, the people that are like, well, you can't do that, that's closed. Oh, I can't do that, huh? Really? Guess what? Watch this. I'm doing it. What you gonna do? Oh, it's closed, you can't do that. Watch the instant replay. You wanna keep going? Good. Stick it. Don't tell me your weakness. I mean, just saying. If something bothers you, don't make it known to people that I don't like that. Please stop doing that. Oh my gosh, that bothers me so bad. Because now you're telling them, hey, if you want me to go absolutely bonkers, just do this on command. Yeah, don't. I mean to be even more transparent and honest. The same thing goes to like people like a few. I think it was the last live stream or the live stream before that, where one of them was throwing Bible verses at me, and I'm just like, cupcake. You cannot use the Old Testament like that. Sorry, that's not what it's intended for. If you don't know what you're using to try and hit me with, if you don't know how it's intended to be used, don't use it like that because you're whiffing it. Don't look at me. I was the one who said, well, ever since the New Testament came in, the Old Testament, off with it. I didn't make that rule. Don't look at me. So, yeah. Learn the faith before you start, brandishing it. Hashtag oopsie with it. And even, it's just funny how what else would that other twat say? Did you get those? Did you get those tarot cards from Walmart? Actually, one deck of I did. Yes, the Lydia the Scott tarot, which I believe it is out of print. So, yeah. Or did you shoplift them? Oh, Cupcake, now you're going to make yourself look extra stupid. How can I shoplift something if I ordered and bought it online? How can I shoplift it? Stupid. Congratulations. Literally just made themselves be like, hey, look at me, I'm literally dim-witted. Watch this. Critical fail. Well, the thing with the emotions is what you have to always use them when it's not going to put you in jeopardy. Like, for example, say, like, if, I mean, one of the things for me is that when somebody's in a state of distress, I tend to be completely blank and void. But at the same time, when I'm like that, I'm holding the space. I'm not being swayed. And people just go with all their stuff on me. But there are some people that actually go like, "Oh, why are you sad? Oh, that happens to everybody." Yeah, because now that part that's deflection. And there are some people that actually do also. Then again, there are some people that do have the challenge of sociopathy or psychopath. I don't even know exactly how to build that word, but you know what I mean. And I've actually known somebody and lived with somebody who was like that. I mean, it was not pretty when. And I mean, this is when we talk about me getting dark. This is probably the darkest I've ever gotten. This one, this twat, he was so desperate for attention from me that literally he took a blade and started slashing himself. And then he came out and he said, Brendan, look. And then I looked over and I said, God damn it, why'd you do that? Why did you do that to yourself? Well, I I just felt the need to, and I feel so much better after doing it. You're stupid. Now clean yourself up. But you're not going to do anything to help me? Nope, you're the idiot who did it. How could you say that? I'm bleeding. Fix it. You're the idiot who took a blade to his wrist. Fix it. It's a good thing you didn't miss. And when I say dark, I mean, yeah, that's how dark I was. I'm like, I really don't care. Because he was extremely, like, sickening toxic. And even was trying to make a really vile rumor about my significant other, which is like, no, Cupcake. If you're going to be taking a swing at him, please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's really hard for me to, go from like natural to like, oops. I really don't like going like that. You could say that, wow, like, what? Uranium magic. I have never heard of such a thing. Uranium magic. Now, why? But then again, what somebody deems dark may not be dark to someone else. So it's kind of subjective. But from a standpoint of somebody, being in a state of distress and me just completely just all like, oh, damn it, you didn't get to it. You missed the artery by that much. Damn it. Fix yourself. Yeah, that's kind of responding in a way that's like, damn. But I mean, that's kind of like how I feel towards them anyway. Oops. Whoopsie. But uranium magic? I mean, doing magic with radioactive waste? Uranium? Which is, you know, bad? No. Don't. Please, no. Nope. Not doing it. Scooch. Mm-hmm. Riffin. Don't even know you don't care. Oh my gosh, this is so awkward and ironic. You know, now keep this in mind. With the Asuras from Hindi mythology, the Asuras are people, human beings, also known as demons. That moment when you see someone say, I grew up in a house of demons, you mean a house of, Asuras and people? You don't say. I did too. Come on now. I couldn't resist, I'm sorry. It. Mm-hmm. Fascinating. Oh my gosh, really? This is another thing I don't understand. Um, Xenarthrus or whatever. Here's the thing. This is the be completely, honest. Um, the Olympians and the witches that work with them will be dethroned. Well, here's the thing. For one, who do you think you are thinking that you have the ability and the power to do that? You can't strip a divine's title and they're standing away from them like that. You can't do that. Oops. Oh, here's another thought. So you're gonna try and dethrone. Let's go really all the way there. You're gonna try and dethrone Nyx or Nox, Night Mother. Do you think that's gonna be a good idea? No, no, don't. Down to the pits of they. This guy even misspelled Tartarus. With it. Oh, Zenithorus. Well, the thing is, yeah. Baby witches be born. Zeus will be dethroned. Tartarus, nah, not feeling it. Nah. Zeus has been hexed and sent to Tartarus. Oh, really? Well, I mean, as much as I don't like Zeus, to be honest, well, no, I don't think so. He's not. Nah. That guy can keep it instead. None of them are safe from, you know, not feeling it. Gaia is the weakest goddess. Oh no, honey bear. Honey bear. You're literally insulting, the ground that you're sitting on and standing on and existing on. Don't be stupid. After the Olympians, we will be hexing all the demons from the Goetia. Oh, so cute. Honey bear, do you really want to do that? Do you really want to do that? Because milkshake. This is from someone named Priest of Xenarthus. But if you're going to try and hex the Goetic Divines, I'm just going to say this. Hope you have insurance. And here's another very key point to always remember. Whenever you're having a specific symbol for, say, a certain being and an intent behind it, like this, don't ever reveal it like that. Because you know how it is so simple to make a seal and to pretty much mitigate it. You can literally take this symbol, draw a circle around it, and literally pretty much add in effects to it to make it be all like, oh, okay, so that's going to make Olympians to Tartaros with that thing, right? Well, I'll just put a seal around it and just put a big slash through it saying, I'm sorry. Nope, it's negated. Oops. Really? Aphrodite has been hexed and bound to Tartarus. No, I'm sorry, Cupcake. No, you can't do it. No, she's not. You really think that you have the authority to do that, Cupcake? Oh, so cute thinking they can do that. No, sorry. No, she's free. With it. Dionysus has fallen? Nah. Even though he's a bit of a party goer, nope, he hasn't fallen. You're gonna hex Hecate. Hex the goddess who has the literal dominion over the witchcraft and magical practice. You're gonna try and attempt to hex that. I mean, I thought Adam was stupid. God spouses? That doesn't exist. Hecate has fallen. Adorable. That's not gonna happen. Whiff it. Nope. Oh, Xenithus is primordial, huh? How come I never heard of him then? He can't be primordial. Well, if he's primordial, then he has to be younger than Nyx. Persephone has fallen. Nope. Well, the thing is, she's not an Olympian. With it. Besides, no, she hasn't fallen. His festival is when the sun is in Scorpio. No. No. Oh, you're going to be swinging at Loki, huh? you know, you're trying to swing at Loki. Now, why are you going to swing at Loki? Because I'm going to tell you this much. If you're going to swing at Loki, do you realize that you're going to literally be bamboozled and then, made a joke? Just saying. Whatever. The thing is, with Tartarus, you can't take a divine from another pantheon and then bind them into another pantheon's domain. Fail. Nope. Wait, what? Many have been asking for lore. Happy to give basic information. I've learned about this egregore. Yes, Aradia is actually a divine figure. She's from Roman mythology, and she's pretty much the Roman equivalent to Hecate. And Aradia is also believed to be an aspect of Lilith herself. Yeah, very interesting. Aradia, yep, is one of those Roman names. Is in one of her names. Yep. Mind blown. But now here's the thing. Yes. Happy to give all information I've learned about this egregore. Not problem. Here's the problem. An egregore is not a divine being. Yes. Yep. Yep. That's why. Okay. But an egregore and a divine are nowhere near the same in power. They're both astral beings, yes, but one's man-made, one isn't. Fail. Critical fail. Not with it. Nah. What? Just a planning pair. Don't tattoo your face, your hands, or your neck. Okay, somebody put Shunny's, you know, his planetary sigil on my middle finger on both of them, so I can go piss it. Nope. You know, sometimes when I just hear and just see logics of people, I just think, how the heck is this thing still living? Well, I have a right to practice my religion and I can talk and say about it wherever I want. Okay, but that doesn't give you the right to harass someone with it, because that's not freedom of religion. That's harassment and nuisance, and it's also painfully intended. Remember, you have the right to practice your religion, but you don't have the right to be stupid. It doesn't say it. So don't be stupid. Nobody has the right to be intentionally stupid. It's not stated. So don't be stupid. Because now, if we're going to be technical, oh, so by technicality, religious freedom, things that you can just act like that and it's okay? Okay. Well, you know what the joy about having an unorganized religion is? I have no rules and I can make them up on the fly because it's unorganized. Well, in that case, my faith allows me to slap anyone who's purposely annoying me. Oh, good. Hey, religious freedom. It's unorganized. It can come up on the fly whenever it wants. Don't look at me. That's what you're saying you can do. So I can too. Oops. Don't look. If somebody's gonna think about, well, I'm gonna play by these rules. Okay, I will too then. Nope. My faith says that I can purposely push you out of my way if you become annoying. Oops. Minor detail. Are you going to change the rules? No, you can't because that's not how it is. We were doing it your way, but okay, now what? What's our new game plan? Like, sometimes, you can clearly see the stupidity in it. Just like, religious freedom allows me to harass you with my faith. No. You don't have the right to be stupid, so don't be stupid. Or even when somebody's like, well, you can't come after me because you can't sue go after a congregation. Okay. Oh, you think you're so slick. Oh, congregation protection. You, come here. Same with you. You. You're all being charged with harassment as an individual each. Still got them. It's not going after the congregation, it's going after the individual. Oopsie doopsie. Bamboozled. Little things like that. Sometimes you just gotta use your head. Like, oh, we can't get them because they're part of a religious congregation. Okay. Go after them each as an individual. See if they can actually still use that. They can't. Because it's not a congregation if you're going after the individualistic person. Oopsie doopsie. Get bamboozled. You're now made, literally the butt of all jokes. Let's see if I can get this on here without whiffing up. Usually it's the first bit that's always the pain. Oh, that's right. Next month. Oh, God. I hope I get to say goodbye to my 20s next month on the 5th. Yeah, but I'm going to be 30. Yes, next month. I'm going to be 30. Damn it. And there are some people that say, wow, you don't look like you're 30. Thanks. You really look like you should still be in high school. Stop trying to woo me. That's not going to work. No, really, you look like you haven't aged. Yeah, you're right. I haven't aged. I still look like the exact same as I did when in middle school. Literally. Mm-hmm. Same height, same weight. Yeah. The joys of tape. Actually, there's no joy in tape. Absolutely no joy in tape. Just doing this. Just doing that just to get it up. Vulgar. Yeah, no. How come you're not getting it up? I'm trying to claw at it. It's not working. No comment. I'm just gonna nod and just keep trying to get this thing to, do what it's supposed to do. Give it up. Give me plan. Yes. Give me plan alternative. Pretty much also, well, what I can say. For my 20s, let's just say, my 20s were, to be accurate, a hot mess. And just a lot of like, why? A lot of that. Way too much of it. Actually, I think I'll just keep that on there. Oops, oopsie doopsie. Don't rip the color off. Don't rip the ink, don't rip the ink, don't rip the ink. King, oh good, it didn't do it. Oh, and here's another thought of the day to think about. Isn't it kind of weird too that in every Final Fantasy game, nearly all the antagonists, the main antagonists, have some form of biblical association with their name? Awkward silence. Yep. In nearly almost every Final Fantasy game, there is some association with something regarding the Abrahamic religion being the antagonist. Like even in, I can't remember which one, but Final Fantasy, I think 6, or it wasn't 5, one of them, where you fight Kefka. You actually literally fight a depiction of Our Lady, Mary, and Yeshua. You fight a symbolic part of them. Like, What did I do? Let's see. Okay, Azul, do me a favor. Pick a number between 1 and 39. If you're wondering why the heck to do that, simple, because that tells me which deck to grab. Number between 1 and 39. 12, okay. Let me just get this little piece of tape on here, and we'll go from there. 12, okay, that would be... Okay, I know which one to grab. That would be... that one. Alright. So that way you know the deck I'm using is what I like to call the Definitely Not Tim Burton Tarot, which is the Deviant Moon. Just get all this nonsense out of my life. get it out of the way. And we'll go from there. According to my list. Do this stuff. Alright, let's see. Okay, so which pile do you want me to pull the first card from? You can choose left, the middle, or my right. Where's the first card going to come from? Left, middle, or right? Current standing, the ex or person that you once had a connection with may actually be in a current position where they're maybe most likely mingling with other people, or they're branching out for new connections, but at the same time, even though it's in the depiction, the three of them, the three figures in here are kind of in the mouth of a fish. That can show that, well, the connections and interactions that they're currently with, it's kind of not going to last. Because you know how when things like a fish are just going on for too long, it kind of tends to rot. And if you also notice, and I'm mainly getting the one in the middle being the person in question, because the other two, they have their cups just like perfectly fine. The ex might be a figure that's a little bit dim-witted, because if you notice how it's sort of the one in the middle's having the cup going literally dumping it on the head, they actually may not be able to really understand how to mingle with other people. So overall, the current standing for them is kind of a little bit lost emotionally and kind of not knowing how to build new connections, and the state that they're in is not going to last long. And it's going to decay and pretty much corrode very fast. So then next one, left, middle, or right? And this one's going to be representing for you. Then we have, for you, we have the Four of Pentacles. This depiction, we have two figures. We have one that kind of looks like Yzma from the Emperor's New Groove. She has a stopwatch in her mouth, and she's like, come on, Kronk, let's get out of here. Come on. And then there's also another figure accompanying her, which looks like a king figure, and he's kind of like scared out of his mind. And he's holding on to his 4 coins. He has one shoe on, and then he has one barefoot. And he's trying to look like he's tiptoeing. So you possibly may be in a situation for one, another thing. In this depiction, there's also a, to the right, looks like the other individual besides the figure that's holding onto the coins. It looks like she's trying to entice him to jump in the fire. So he actually might have a figure actually trying to sway you into going in a direction where it's going to be very painful. So you might have, like, for example, say if you have like a good friend or somebody close to you or somebody who you get advice from, trying to tell you to do something like, well, just move on, forget about it. That may not be the best choice to take their advice, because even though you might be moving on, in the end, if you're doing something that like internally that is like, this is not going to be good for me, don't do it. And if you also notice how you have the one on one side and then you have the one for you, the king figures out looking towards the, the three of cups back there. So it's like he's looking back at the figure that's stuck with a cup on her head. And since the Four of Pentacles usually, how it's known, is a card that shows like holding on to something for dear life. And because since this figure too also doesn't have a shoe, he has one foot with a shoe on, then another foot without a shoe. It kind of shows too that possibly you may have been rushed out of this connection, and you're wanting to reconnect with it again to gain back either a piece of yourself or to get a more better grounding of yourself. And there is this feeling of dread of being kind of a bit pushed and not really being listened to, and kind of being enticed to just hurry up and move on and jump into the fire. And by jumping into the fire, I'm meaning like moving on for a minute and then transforming into something different. But again, it's going to be painful and it's not really what you want to do. And then the next three, choose the next three from left, middle, right. So it can be like left, left, right, right, middle, right, whichever the sequence. Okay, first one's left. Okay, the next two. Oh, that looks so much better. Okay, so the first one to come out is the Justice card. So, already since, well, again, the thing with the fish. In this depiction, you have the figure actually holding on to a rotted fish. And since this figure is holding it, and also holding the two blades, and also having a set of keys on him, when the moon is pretty much almost completely like waned away into a no moon, like when the moon's completely like void and there's no moon, nearing like right before the last bit of the waning crescent, expect something to be balanced out karmically, or essentially, if you were treated unfairly, or if there was something done to you that was unjust by the ex or somebody involved that got the connection to go. Expect some form of adjudication to happen, and by adjudication, it could be anything like they come back and say, "Well, I was an idiot. I'm sorry. I want to fix this," or a friend of theirs comes to you and says, "Well, they've been saying that they made a big mistake and they wish they could take it back." Something like that. That's most likely potentially when that would happen. But then to follow would be, now you have the page of twigs, which actually has a youthful figure walking on a pair of stilts on the ice, and he's actually going towards the Three of Cups. So there might be a message being sent on your side that's might be trying to want to, well, this is going to sound so cheesy, to try and break the ice, because we notice how he's walking on stilts on the ice, which is not the best idea. You might attempt to reach out to see what would happen, but because since it is walking on stilts on ice, it might be a bit risky, but that might be what's needed to get the qualities of the Justice card to come through. But because since either way, at the very end of it all, having the Nine of Pentacles being the last one to get pulled for the third pull, you actually have gone from that state of that you're going to be going from that state of being fearful to, even though you may not be how you would like to be, you may need to be putting on an appearance or having it be given off that, well, you're more put together. But going at it with this approach, make sure that whatever you do, make it not really apparent that something is bothering you, or if you're in a state where it's like, oh, I can't get over this, or something's still bothering me. Pretty much playing it off in a way that's like, oh yeah, I'm already much better, I'm more grounded, I'm more secure. And sometimes in order for you to possibly gain somebody's, respect, sometimes you may have to put on a front of deception to have it come about. But whatever you put towards with the Page of Wands, whatever you put out, it'll be given back to you, because with Justice, it's like whatever you invest in, you'll gain the same amount back in. And then the last three for clarifying: Five of Cups, then the 10, and then the High Priestess. The thing that they have to still learn and understand is that they have to listen. And they have to really take in the mistakes that they do and not be acting in a way that's dim-witted or immature. Because there may have been a lot of instances where you're trying to get a message across to them, and they are purposely acting in a way that's childish and completely ignoring it and not taking it seriously, which may actually have contributed to a lot of tension. But that's like the main lesson that they need to learn. And the potential of this connection, well, it's the Ten of Cups. So, I mean, this connection does have the potential to have the full emotional fulfillment. It has that potential. And even though just like how in the the Nine of Pentacles there, as well as the Ten of Cups. Both of them actually have a wheel for foot. So it's actually coming to terms with the parts that were harmed or damaged and just accepting them. So, like, say there's something that they didn't like about you, and just say, well, this is just how I am, take it or leave it. And when you pretty much display that and say, well, how I am is how I am, but if there's even more of an insecurity about yourself that you have, don't really let it be emitted, if that makes sense. Like, don't make yourself emit like, oh, I'm so insecure about this thing still. And pretty much just put it out of your mind. As well, the next full moon, the person in question actually might get scolded in a way that actually might kind of drive them a bit crazy. And since there's also a rose on the ground, this may also show that potentially they may not really put in a lot of effort for the emotions, and they may actually take love as kind of a not a serious thing. But the potential is there. But the best way of approaching this is to go about it in the way of the High Priestess. But with this depiction of the High Priestess, this High Priestess is very guarded. And she's closed off. So the best thing to do is to really not have yourself be fully like completely exposed, being like, well, this is how I feel, this is how it is. But more along the lines of saying, like, well, I'm doing much better off anyway. I'm in a better standing, and I'm doing perfectly fine. If you go towards them or just like try to have again the ice break, and whatever you put out towards them, you'll get the same in return. Just don't let whomever is giving you advice or trying to sway you in a certain way, don't let them make the decision for you, because it's really your choice. Give me a clarifier for this Ten of Cups, that Priestess, and the 5. Okay, well, we have Death and the 5 of Cups, so they actually, since they're not really taking the whole thing seriously regarding the emotions and, thinking it's a joke, since now Death's getting involved, it can kind of show that part of them is really going to not last that much longer. Okay, and then that's what's to go. And that's what it becomes. Well, okay, then the High Priestess. So the potential now, bit of an interesting thing to have come out. So clarifying the 10 of Cups, we then have the 10 of Blades. which is a card of essentially overkill. But this depiction, it has a figure being stuck in a box and getting poked in all directions. So it may look like, oh, so that means it's going to be going bad and not being so good, and it's just going to be, well, pretty much like killed. No, because in actuality, even though this is emotional fulfillment, the card that comes out to show what it becomes is actually essentially the same thing, which is the Four of Wands. But with this is actually another full moon card, because why not? And what the figures down below are doing, they're doing a handfast, which is a kind of a joining of unionship. So the potential, again, it may not be exactly the emotional woozy woo, but it'll still have the unionship, which is being desired and sought after for. But again, the biggest thing to do is to not be so open. But the Seven of Wands, it has the figure actually having the hands up, like saying, no. So really keep your sense of security and self close, and don't let other people know how you feel, what you're wanting to do, what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to go after. Keep it mainly to yourself. Will the ex return? If you want them to return, then pursue them and take in the initiative to pretty much go towards them. If you don't want them to, they may come towards you after when this corrodes away. But if you want them to come back, take the initiative and go towards them first. But go about it in a way that's a bit inspirational and a little bit more zestful in energy. But also make it known that you're not the same as you used to be, and veil any weaknesses or any things that were a difficulty between you two that you on your part. Keep them veiled, and whatever you put out, you'll get back. Effort will be matched in return. Just be prepared that they may still be a bit dim-witted about taking emotional concerns seriously, but since death's in there, it will pretty much fade really fast. And the ten of Cups into the Ten of Blades into the Four of Wands, well, even though the emotional fulfillment may not be precisely how you're expecting it to be, the unionship will be there, which in on its own will pretty much mimic the same thing, except this one is more one-on-one, while the Ten of Cups is more like a family oriented and focused. This one's more of a one-on-one deeper connection, which is more personal, the best way to put it. And the best thing to keep in mind, again, keep yourself guarded. Don't let other people know what you're striving for. Do not reveal it. Keep it closed. Someone asks, just go, nope, you don't need to know that. What if you are? None of your business. If I wanted them, okay, so what? You don't know that. You don't need to know that. Because what you want your life to be is up to you. And all that people can do is just deal with it. They don't have to like it. Boo-hoo. It's your life. You decide what happens. So, if you want them to come back, take the initiative, go towards them. But don't be emotionally charged. If you don't want them to come back, then you don't have to pursue them, but they may come towards you once again this whiffs, which probably won't be much longer, because that is a waning moon. So once the full moon that's currently going on starts to wane, that's more than likely when that's going to kick the bucket and start decaying, and then they'll be coming towards you then. At least that's what I say, and at least that's what I see. And hopefully that gives you the best possible ways to go about it. Good. Good. And hopefully, and if things do turn out well, then good. Let me know so that way, you know, I was of help. Because I'd rather people be able to go towards what they want and get it, and instead of being told like, well, you deserve better. Well, what if there isn't any better, and what they want is just what they want is their best. They should at least be able to get what they want and their best. So only you know what that is. I don't. And that's speaking of that. That's a big thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand too. Well, you deserve better. Well, is what's better what's wanted, and what's better to someone else may not be better for them. But yeah, that's the thing. Minor detail. I'm gonna get this. Oh crap! I need a measure. Hmm. If I had my little pesty thing, I would use it, but in provision. I guess I'll just have. In Purva Partapa. Well, Purva is the first. The first of the front parts of something. And Purva Partapa is the front legs of the coffin. I know that sounds like the front legs of the coffin. And essentially, it is an extractor that is actually also owned by Jupiter Guru. So, naturally, well, for starters, Lilith and Jupiter, well, she kind of doesn't like Guru. If anything, she's more crap. I gotta listen to this fat guy. Oh, why? Yeah, woo. Lord, woo. So she's kind of a bit annoyed. Hello, Elysia. So, with that placement, you can actually see somebody have a strong, intense focus to going to the depths of themselves to find their empowerment, to the point where they become so obsessed of obtaining the empowerment and using it to defy and push back any kind of authoritative means. And since it's the eighth house, is actually also using the empowerment to completely Don't do that. Someone just whacks them. So it being in the 8th, essentially that's using also the occult, or whenever there's a time of distress, Lilith gets activated, and it being there, actually using one's empowered state to actually cause drastic change in the environment around them, or whenever there's any kind of occult means being practiced or used, that actually does invite the potential to become intensely driven to obtain the empowerment by any means necessary, including using means of deception or even transformation, or having something end abruptly, only then to be resurrected sooner, like shortly thereafter. So I would have to say, whenever you get empowerment inspiration, be very careful with it, because you might be so driven to go to the depths with it. In other words, if something connects with you on a really strong level, make sure that it doesn't completely get a hold of you and your focus, and it drives you all the way down into getting it, and then you completely forget about everything else around you, because the Padavas are nakshatras that go to the depths of something. The Jupiter one, the first one, goes to the depths. It's like, give it, give it, give it. While the Uttara is more going down to the depths for the water dragon, like the depths of the ocean. And that one's more, it's similar to Purva, but it's more mellow. So it's wanting to actually understand it for the true spiritual growth, rather than just the obsession to become like the complete master with it. The Uttara wants to obtain it just to have the understanding and finally be content with it. The Purva wants to take it so to have the mastery of it, and will not stop at nothing to get it. So the empowerment can be very likely to make you so driven with it that if something gets in the way, you literally just be like, piss, get out of the way. And just get out of your life and tell it to scooch. Unless it wants to get run over, like how Grandma got hit by that reindeer last year. Well, but now since you have Lilith in the first and then Mars with her, so essentially now the empowerment is, so essentially whenever Lilith is anywhere close to another planet, except Venus, Moon, and Saturn, like I said, she holds it hostage, saying, "Oh, you want this? You want this planet? Give me my empowerment first, then I'll let their significance go through." So, to have the drive, you have to understand what the empowerment is. Then the drive gets activated. And since Mars in that nakshatra can actually has the potential to make the pursuit become quite explosive. And when the empowerment gets threatened, or the sense of self, like the ability to take a stand for the self, gets put in a situation where it's being in potential danger or being aimed at, it can respond in a way that's explosive. Very explosive. And since Lilith also, again, of course, is a rebellious planet, now with Mars, rebellious actions in response can be kind of sometimes physically confrontational or very heated, and can actually result potentially going off the deep end. Because Lilith wants her empowerment. If she says, well, Mars, go make yourself useful and beat the living heck out of them. So the energy and the drive goes in, and then she gets the empowerment, and then Mars is able to have his free reign afterwards. But Lilith has to get her empowerment first. always. And when she doesn't get it, well, the planet that she's with doesn't really get much of their significance through. Well, that's really intoxicating of a mix. Ow. Why? Black Moon Lilith? She. Everybody has a Black Moon Lilith. Everyone. Everybody has Black Moon Lilith somewhere. Same with Asteroid Lilith and Dark Moon. Everyone has one. And if you're wondering, do I look at the mean or the true? When in doubt, always go with the true. If true is not an option, then use mean. The calculations, anyway, are just not really that much off. But always use true when you're able to. Yeah, sometimes the things people say make no sense. Wrong way. 2 hours already? Wow, that was quick. Well, I feel I'm going to take my leave. I'm going to get this little candle thing all dressed up and set off in airspace. And I think tomorrow I'll pick back up on talking about the planets again and resume with Buddha or Mercury. Because yeah, I think it's been a little bit too long. So anyway, I guess I'll just see y'all then on the next live. It'll be tomorrow.